Good afternoon, I'm Vashan Brown with the Midday News. Special welcome if you're watching on OneSpotMedia.com. A reminder as well that you can watch TVJ Live by downloading our One Spot Media app in the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the number 1 followed by the words Spot Media. Now, Denham Town in West Kingston was this morning declared the second zone of special operations. The Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, made the declaration at a press conference at Jamaica House this morning, and we'll tell you more about that later on, but we'll go to another story. The police are investigating an arson attack on residents of Olympic Way in St. Andrew early this morning. The police say Molotov cocktails were thrown on 12 houses, causing widespread damage. The incident left 9 children and 15 adults homeless. Residents say the fire started about 5 this morning. One resident explained what happened.
My neighbor, I call Fanny, but when I not say at all to him, I think I go say the current. But when I bother certain time, I look, I see fire. So the job when I draw the curtain now, the fire blaze coming on my house, catch my dresser, my whatnot, and everything. Only thing I save is my bed and look clothes and one piece of fan.
I got a phone call from my cousin stating that the whole of my things burn out, and I just rushed and came and say that everything is burned out. The only thing I can probably say that is safe is probably my baby uniform and for school.
The residents are now seeking help to rebuild.
My daughter lose her baby father, me the hungry one. So anybody out there can help me, please, I'm asking for the help, please.
In more fire-related news, 17 persons are homeless after fire destroyed several houses in Mount Salem, St. James yesterday morning. Reports are that shortly before 5, residents were asleep when they saw fire coming from a section of the building and contacted the fire department.
And the fire smoke wake me up and me hear pie. And me jump up and me look to the boat, no pie fire, and me say, me bust the back door. When me bust the back door, me see fire, me grab my daughter, and me say, mommy fire, me fly the front door and run out and start ball out fire. And dash out all of when me could have dash out.
Now the victims say they've lost everything.
Everything gone. Everything. Clothes, everything. Nothing naked me now. Me and the pitney them naked.
All the while me see happen on TV and I know say that reach me. I don't know. Me no know. Right now, me no know.
The cause of the fire have not yet been determined. The island's teachers are up in arms over the government's delay to resume wage negotiations more than a month after the government promised to return to the table with a new offer after the Jamaica Teachers Association rejected its initial offer of 6% over 2 years. The JTA says it has not heard any word from the Ministry of Finance. JTA President Georgia Wall Richards told our news centre that the JTA wrote to the ministry last week requesting a meeting to resume negotiations after completing local level talks with the Ministry of Education. Members of the rafting community in Berrydale, Portland are calling for the Tourism Minister Ed Bartlett to remember Port Antonio, Portland in his development plans. The raftmen believe that the poor condition of the roads leading to the Rio Grande Valley and the Berrydale communities are major factors to the decrease in their rafting business. TVJ's Dara Smith reports.
The road is in a deplorable condition.
If they don't fix the road, we're not getting no business.
That's the cry of the raftmen who operate in the Berrydale community. They argue that the state of the road is the main reason why business has been slow for them. It's been almost 4 weeks since they've seen any tourist in the area.
Right now, it's a shame. You don't want to see a cheaper tourists come. Sometimes 1 a day, sometimes 2, sometimes none.
Because if the taxi man come with the business and see how the road stay, the next time he's not coming back.
And so, this is why they believe the tourism minister should do more to facilitate their business.
So sometimes we don't really want to put politics in this. But when Mr. Matt Neal, the Minister of Tourism, it's like we don't see no drought, you know. We get business right from summer right back to winter.
Therefore, they are calling on the government to make an effort to develop the town of Port Antonio, as this will allow their business to grow.
We don't see no, instead of we will see an increase, we will see a decrease. And all we can hear is just promising. We don't like to see an increase that business. Right now, we don't like to see the shipping pier down at Port Antonio. You hear how many ships are going to Montego Bay and Falmouth. You don't hear about none of Port Antonio. We want to see some ship in Port Antonio.
Member of Parliament for Eastern Portland, Dr. Linvale Bloomfield, explained that the roads were fixed a few years ago. However, the poor drainage system resulted in their rapid deterioration.
The drainage system is always a problem, and if it is not fixed efficiently and properly, then of course the problems will recur, and that's exactly what happened. That the drainage system has not been addressed effectively, and therefore water runs on the road freely. New springs crop up in different places and undermines the infrastructure that has been laid down. As soon as this weekend, holiday weekend is over and the rains give us a break, then we will be doing a patching program to see if we can rehabilitate the roadway into Berrydale.
Time now for sports. Champion Zarnet Gardens dropped to third in the standings, but remain unbeaten after coming from behind against Humble Lion in the Red Star Premier League on Sunday. Meanwhile, the battle of the promoted teams ended in a stalemate. So too Reno away at Boys Town.
Playing away for the first time this season, Arnett Gardens had to dig deep to salvage a point at Effortville as Humble Lion's two-game losing streak came to a halt. Looking for their first point since the opening day, it took only 14 minutes for the Lion to go in front when Andrew Vanzi scored. That lead was maintained for 53 minutes until Lennox Russell, with his third goal this season, salvaged the point for the defending champions.
It was pretty much a very physical game, as you see, and it ended up that we got a penalty and we converted. In the end, it was a good result.
When you play at home, we want to win the game. I think the players tried today. They put all on the field today, especially Vanzi and Parkins. Those two players stood out today. I think defensively we were good. But it's a work in progress. We just have to continue working hard. And it's early days, so we just have to keep working and get the players in tip-top shape.
The promoted teams, Sandals South Coast and Cavalier, ended in a 1-1 draw at Frome. Chevron Marsh sent Cavalier ahead in the 13th minute. However, just before the half-time break, Sandals South Coast were back on level terms, following a strike by Timar Lewis, which pushed them to 10th on 2 points and out of the relegation zone.
A few chances where we should have won the game. Cavalier should be going home, defeated by 2 or 3 goals to 1. We literally gave them a penalty, which were poor covering at the back. But I must lift my hats off to the player.
I think we lapsed on the 45th minute and allowed Sandals to get back into the game. And then I think we just got scrappy near the end in the second half, really scrappy. But I suppose in the end it's a fair result.
Reno's dependency on Craig Foster for goals got a dent as he failed to find the back of the net in their game against Boys Town in a 0-0 draw. Portmore United for the third straight week are the leaders after handing Waterhouse their first defeat of the season, thumping them 5-0 at Druseland, and in the process moved to 10 points. Skipper Huon Grandison and Jovan East both scored 2 goals each. The Mona Bowl has been a difficult place for visiting teams, and that proved true once more, with 2016 champions Montego Bay United going down 3-0 to UWI. Ryan Miller was the architect of the win for UWI, notching the first hat-trick of the new season.
My aim, I want to score a double figure and help the team in best way how I can help them. That's all.
So Portmore United continue to lead the table on goal difference over UWI on 10 points. Montego Bay United are bottom of the table on 1 point. Reporting for TVJ Sports, I'm Keon Reyna.
And as we said earlier on, Denham Town in West Kingston was declared the second zone of special operations. The Prime Minister made the declaration this morning, and we'll have extensive coverage of that in Primetime News at 7, so please join us then. And that's the Midday News. I'm Vashon Brown. On behalf of the entire team, have a good afternoon.